Welcome to 100% Canucks. John Shannon here, quickly joined by Landon Ferraro and Tyson Barrie. It's the end of October, Halloween. Tricks or treats? Well, I tell you what, the Canucks had another treat last night in St. Louis, a 4-3 shootout victory against the Blues, and they are now 6-6. We take a look at the club as they continue this road trip against the Wild and the Predators, and then talk about what this team is with 6 wins and 6 losses. That's with Landon Ferraro and Tyson Barrie on 100% Canucks.
I won't keep you long. Darren Millard with a tip for everyone who loves great hockey podcasts like this one. John Shannon and I host the OG of 100% Hockey, coming your way multiple times a week. The guest list is the best you will find. Multiple shows a week ensures you won't miss out on any news, and we dig even deeper into the biggest stories around the NHL. Most of our guests are also friends, so I promise there'll be more conversation beyond the X's and the O's. John really does get bored with that after a while. So join us for 100% Hockey. The name says it all. Subscribe now while you enjoy thinking about it, and enjoy.
Welcome back to 100% Canucks. Landon Ferraro, Tyson Barrie, John Shannon. Okay, boys, I for one, would not have predicted that the leading goal scorer for the Vancouver Canucks at this point in the season would ever be Kiefer. To me, that's one of those ones where you say, oh my goodness gracious, what is happening? And yet, Landon, he has been remarkable as he was against the Blues.
He has. I mean, his engine just doesn't stop. And I mean, me and Tyson were talking about it the other night while we were watching the game, of just like the pure enjoyment he gets out of scoring and how hard he's going right now. And the best part is, like, I don't feel, maybe his first one yesterday, but like none of them are lucky goals. It's hard work. It's getting to the net. I mean, Tyson's his number one fan. Apparently.
Oh yeah,
so,
I'm very smitten over here right now, and I couldn't disagree more. He goes to the net. He's going to score all different types of ways. Am I going to sit here and say he'll be leading the team in points at the end of the year? Probably not.
I'll tell you what, he better not be.
He better not. Exactly. But I love the guy. I love the way he plays. The energy. You talk to anybody in that room, they're going to tell you they love him. No, he's just a great guy who plays with his heart on his sleeve, and he's showing he's got a lot of skill and he's got a great shot, and he's putting it all together right now. And it's I'm super stoked for him.
Sustainable.
And honestly, that was my point though, was that like none of them are lucky goals. I was saying maybe the first one yesterday because it was a bounce off his arm, but like it's him getting to the front of the net. It's him ripping that snapshot that he gets off so well. Like it's all goals that you can see him continuing to score as the year goes on.
Sustainable, maybe not at this pace, but he's going to play this exact way all year.
Yeah.
So the way he's playing is sustainable. I don't know what his shooting percentages are at. That might, obviously come back down to earth, but he's going to get breakaways. That's how he plays. He's going to get goals going to the net, crashing the net. He's getting some power play time. I don't know. I think I'm calling a breakout. I called it before. I said he was my favorite player in the league. I'm calling a breakout season out at Sherwood, and here we are. I'm just saying.
Hey, I'm all for it too. I'm not against you by any means. He's fun to watch, man.
So did you have some time with him in Nashville?
I did, yeah. Yeah, we spent some time together in Nashville. We were both getting healthy scratched and got to know each other quite well. We had a lot of lunches, a lot of dinners, a lot of bag skates. He's a great guy. And
just you two just splitting the atom, eh?
Oh yeah, but he really broke it down. But yeah, I didn't understand when they let him go. I didn't understand why they didn't play him, and I didn't understand why they weren't playing me either. So maybe I was biased.
But seriously, what would that conversation be like at lunch? I mean, are you trying to pat each other on the back? Are you trying to console each other? What are you doing?
No, I think at that point, I was 13 years into my career, and it depended on where the conversation was happening. If it was, if we got healthy scratched in LA, we were down on the beach, toes in the sand. Like we were keeping it light. I was kind of, he's the kind of guy who can get pretty worked up, and he's obviously very passionate about hockey, and I was kind of the guy to let him know the sky wasn't falling. So we had a good dynamic, but just super stoked for him. And like back to the beginning, sustainable. He's going to play this exact way all year.
Okay,
He'll lead the game in hits and shots.
So here's, it's easier to list the guys not playing than it is to list the guys playing. Landon, how do they get through this? And more importantly, what does a victory like that in St. Louis do for this club?
It's massive. I mean, they're already missing 8 guys, and Besser goes down 33 seconds into the first shift. Like, that's the other crazy part about these injuries. Like, it's not to fringe guys on the roster. It is like very key contributors and guys the Canucks coming into the season knowing that they didn't have, the most dynamic scoring forward group. Well, they've just lost a number of players in their top 6. Guys are having to jump up, but it's exactly what happened last night. Was I going to bet that Sherwood was going to get a hat trick up all by himself and single-handedly get this Canucks team into a position to grab a point and then get the second one? Probably not, but it's guys stepping up. And I mean, Tyson, you've been in rooms with a ton of guys that, like world-class players, and when they go out, it's almost easier sometimes to just go play the simple game. Not saying you want those guys out by any means.
You definitely don't, but your team's gonna get tested throughout the year. Not everyone's healthy all the time. It's a great sign that they're, able to get it done with these guys down. And it gives the guys who don't always get the looks. It gives them a chance to get extra touches, play more minutes, and just get some trust from the coaching staff that otherwise might not happen. So you don't want to see these guys out, but there's some growth that can come from it within, the role players and the younger guys. And I think it'll benefit long-term as long as these guys come back healthy and, step in. And, like you mentioned, I don't think that at the beginning of the year, everyone was, terrified of their forward group. I think they're going to struggle to score goals. So if you can get a diamond in the rough, someone who comes in who maybe wasn't on your radar, like Kiefer Sherwood, who's going to step up and be I don't want to put a number on it, 30-plus goal scorer, that's a win. And now you just need your other guys who are supposed to come back, get healthy, and do what they're supposed to do.
And I think that's where it's so big, too, that with guys stepping up, with the number of forwards out and then Besser dropping in the first shift yesterday, Evander Kane plays just over 19 minutes last night. And it was, other than the Edmonton game where, a bit of emotions trying to make sure they get a win against his former team, he's had a pretty slow start to the year. And last night, he got in on the forecheck. He caused a turnover on Sherwood's first goal. He caused another turnover before his goal that ended up getting disallowed. He was moving, he was starting to make some plays. So it forces some guys to get moving a little bit quicker than maybe they would have if everyone was in the lineup.
Yeah.
You think Kane's off to a slow start? Yeah, I've seen him a lot in Edmonton. This is Kane. This is Evander Kane. He's not that fast, but when he gets focused, he can be a difference maker. He really can.
Yeah. The thing with Kaner is, you want him for the playoffs. You just got to get him to the playoffs.
Yeah, that's right. So, and you got to keep him healthy for the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. So,
but that's the tough part, right? You want him for the playoffs, but with how everything is shaken out early in this season, they can't wait another 70 games for him to figure. They need him to be like he was last night. John, I don't disagree that he's not the fleetest of foot or anything, but early in this season, just watching him try and move, and the biggest thing for me is watching him trying to get a shot off. Mm-hmm. How long he's got a good release. And right now, in the past few games, him trying to get a shot off, a lot of them are getting deflected. or blocked because it's taking him a while to get it off, like to get his body in position to shoot. And last night he just seemed that, half step a little quicker, but just more determined to get in and make himself part of the game.
Now, what about some of the other forwards? Where did you see Jake DeBrusk game so far?
I mean, it was a nice flick in overtime.
Yeah, but
the tough part with Jake is he is rather streaky, and you're waiting for him to catch fire, because when he does, you generally know 4 or 5 goals are following it in pretty short order behind.
Yeah, you're going to want the streak here coming soon.
Yeah, they're going to need that one to show up at
only,
the door.
You're clipping just under half a point a game. You go streak and you can get 2 or 3 in one night. Next thing you know, nobody's talking about it anymore. But that's the funny thing about this, like the beginning of the year, right? Is you get through 10 games, you get through 15 games, and if you have a cold start, people start to talk, and then it starts to weigh on you. Next thing you know, you go 5 more without something, and then it becomes a thing. So it's important to you don't want to you want to get streaking earlier than later, for sure.
Well, it's just so tough at the beginning of the year.
How difficult is it to start a season? And I seriously, I mean, when you think about a lot of these guys played maybe 2 exhibition games, and you've already had one good long road trip. But how difficult is October? Because it looks like to me, not just the Canucks but the NHL it's like the mushy middle is bigger than ever. There's when you look at the standings, there's 15 teams within 4 points of each other because everybody's beating up on everybody. Yeah,
it's a tough schedule right now. It is tough to jump right into it. Like in my second last year in Nashville, I played 2 exhibition games, and I played back-to-back exhibition games, and the season started. And you're like, okay, I guess we're going. So it can wear on you. It's 0 to 100 quick, and then you get a bunch. I love this time of year. I think the Halloween party, the team Halloween party, is where you get to know everybody. It's my favorite party. You get all the new guys. Everyone gets into one a little bit. You get to see the different personalities and kind of bond for the first time. You get the road trip and stuff, but you get the early road trips. But I think that Halloween party is kind of where everyone's colors come out, and you kind of get to see who the new guys are and all that. So I think it's a good opportunity for the guys to come together as a team.
Okay, I want to jump on that. What was your best costume ever?
Oh man, I have this thing. I like to dress up in like massive kind of mascot costumes because my dance moves look sicker in them. So,
I'm sure.
I'm going as the Cookie Monster this year. So.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I've been all over the map with my costumes, but.
And who? One of your teammates? Anybody over the years, no matter where you played, jumped out as one of the great costumes?
Oh, let me circle back. I'll have to.
Well, like, did McKinnon ever come in as somebody that there's no way that Nate McKinnon was going to do that? And by the way, isn't it driven by your wife anyway?
It's mostly, it is. But it's funny when the single guys all get together and do something. We had like Andrew Ghetto, Barbario, and Reto Berra dressed up as like soccer players one year, but they were just the most outrageous outfit. They were just juggling the ball the whole time. It was pretty funny.
What about you, Landon?
I mean, I loved the year me and my wife did like the 70s, just because I got to put on like a massive wig and like had some hair for the night. I'm a big fan. He says like he likes doing like the big mascot ones. My rule for my wife, I don't care what you put me in, I want pockets. Like I just want like a pair of pants. I need to be able to put my stuff somewhere. Past that, it could be anything.
That's pretty, yeah, so those aren't terrible guidelines. You can.
Yeah, I like pockets. She's probably going to be wearing a dress or something. Now I'm carrying her stuff. I don't want to be like I don't have the biggest hands anyway. I need some help.
And is the Halloween party the most important party of the year, more than Christmas and more than any other, other than winning a cup party?
It's the welcome party for like, it's always, if anything's going to happen, it usually happens at the Halloween party.
And it's always the guy you least expect too.
Yeah, there's always something. goes down at the Halloween party, and then it's good for everyone. Comes in a little hungover. It's good for a laugh, and just kind of a nice. You settle in. You're past that like point of training camp, and am I going to make the team? You're 10 games in. The rookies are staying. You kind of settle into like, okay, this is our group.
And when you say the group stuff, it also means families too. That's the important.
All the girls are getting to know each other, and it's just this is your tribe for the year. So
and that was some of my favorite parts of the Halloween party too. Like that first one of the year was because it's for if you're new on the team, it's kind of the first time you're meeting all the other wives and girlfriends and stuff, and just seeing the one guy that's starting to have a little too much fun. And which girl's the first one to try and rein it back in and see that go? That's always really amusing.
Oh yeah.
For some reason I get the sense that you guys just like to make fun of each other. That's part of it.
Yeah, it's pretty relentless. That's the best part. You can't let anybody get away with anything.
All right, let's look at some of the guys that have come in to this Canuck lineup in the short term. Tommy Willander, what do you think of Willander so far?
I loved his confidence. I think just watching, even getting some power play time last night, ragging the puck. We had a good shot there from the blue. I think he's, for a kid who's just starting. I think he's looked confident and he's making his reads, and no issues with his game. I think it's great. You can plug him in when someone goes down.
Yeah, I mean, he plays just over 19 minutes in a game that you're shorthanded. Or you're thinking you're probably not going to get a ton of goals. Like, you need to be good defensively, but you got to have the confidence to make plays. Still, he's such a good skater. Like, he's fun to watch. He's smooth. So it's another really solid game. He's one of those guys, like the young kids that come up that are really good players. And for a lot of young guys, it's you tell them something, they'll listen, they go out, they kind of make the same mistake again. Like, they're just learning. But Willander's one of those guys that, and they've talked about it we'll give him some direction and he changes at the next shift. Like, he can process the information fast, which is good when you're in and playing good minutes, especially as a young D. It's different.
You got to be coachable. If you want to stick around, you got to be coachable. I had some run-ins with that early. I was trying to trust my reads, and I had a couple bad pinches, 2-on-1s. They couldn't figure it out, but being coachable is a huge part of it.
And would having, now he wouldn't be affected by this, but having a brand new coaching staff, how much of an impact has that been, do you think, with this group as a whole?
Ooh, I mean, I think having a first-time head coach, everyone's trying to figure out how they're going to run the ship, like where they're going to fit in. I think it probably, honestly, like, as a young guy, this is just an opinion. As a young guy coming in, it's probably a little more comforting, than having a 20-year bench boss sitting there who's grizzled and, kind of stuck in his ways. I think it's probably, you'd have to ask them, but you almost feel like you're in it together. He's a rookie head coach. I'm a rookie player. There's something, there's some, hey, we're figuring this out together kind of thing going on. So that would just be from a overview, what I would assume would maybe be a little comforting, but could be completely wrong. Footer could be coming down hard on him. I have no idea.
No, I mean, watching him interact with the guys and just, even with the media when he's talking, I don't see him doing that. Like, I don't think you're far off by any means. The tough part is having a whole new coaching staff come in, getting your new team, and then half of that team not being in the lineup. Yeah. Like, that's the tricky part right now, is like, you're at plug and play time. That usually happens, in the second half of the year. At some point you run into a bit of injury problem, but fresh in 10 games into a season and really having to move guys around. You have Mackenzie McEachern get called up from Abbotsford. Like, they're quickly, there's more guys down there, but you're quickly running into guys that you're planning on having down for a year or two to to grow their game and being forced into it. McEachern's played in the league before. He was drafted by St. Louis. But at the same time, it's been quite a while since he's played a game. And so it's really just trying to, I hate the line of next man up because it just gets used so much, but like it really is. It's guys coming in that are extremely hungry for the chance that they're getting, and they're young and excited.
And they have a good team down there. So they're playing, they're obviously
they're off to a tough start this year.
No, I know, but they know what they were on a good team.
So,
yeah.
But winning in Abbotsford's a bonus.
Oh yeah,
isn't it? I mean, let's face it. I mean, you're not sitting here. You're not sitting here making sure that the Abbotsford Canucks are playoff bound at the expense of the Vancouver Canucks.
No, not at all. But you do want the team to be doing decent, one, because it's good for the guys' development, but as guys start to get healthy and you're having to send guys back, as a former bubble guy, there's nothing worse than being in the NHL, being called into an office saying, like you're going on waivers, you're getting sent down, and you look at the team in the American League and you're like, they haven't won a game in 5. And like it's just like one hit after another.
Yeah,
you want to
going down, stepping right into a bag skate, and
just the worst. Yeah. And then you got to make sure that you're out in front, so you're not the guy that's moping when you're going down. Like it's mentally exhausting.
That's a whole different game within the game.
I'm going to be the hard ass here. You guys could have real jobs.
Oh yeah, well, look at us now.
Well, I was about to say, I'm like, we're on a call with you at 9:30 in the morning. This feels like a pretty real job at the moment.
Are you kidding me? I had to push my sauna back a half hour.
Life is rough on the island. That's all I know.
We're supposed to get rained on over here. I got a Halloween day getting rained on. Not ideal.
Got to loosen up before you chase the kids around the neighborhood,
So 2 more games on this trip, Minnesota and Nashville. What does the momentum of a game like what happened in St. Louis, even though, they were up, they blew the lead, they won in the shootout?
Well, let's touch on Braden Shen's shootout move first.
No, let's not. No, we're trying to be nice to people. This is supposed to be a cup half full.
That was just an absolutely pathetic attempt. He was texting me. He goes, I was texting him this morning. He goes, we have a group chat going. You guys catch my shootout move? He goes, he's like, am I allowed to chase that down, or what do you do there?
I was about to say, I'm like, you could see it in his eyes for that split second. He's like, do I chase after it? No, it's too far gone.
Yeah. The problem is that the moment he catches it, if he moves it back towards the middle of the ice, he moves it backwards, the play's dead, right?
Oh, yeah, that was just I just wanted to touch on that. I hope this clip gets a little virality so he can
Okay, wait, and your worst shootout move, Tyson, was?
Oh, never had a bad one.
When you're on the bench, how does it work on the bench when you get past? Because everybody knows who the first 3 shooters are for the most part. At what point do you start to lobby?
Well, I think there's a couple different types of guys: those who lobby and those who try to hide. I think I was good early in my career. My first one, I put King Henrik in the corner, backhand shelf, and then I was 1 for 1 in my career. And I finished my career, I think, 1 for 8. So I went on a bit of a cold streak. But usually around, like, as an offensive defenseman, you get past, the 4th shooter, it starts to become a possibility.
Start getting a little bit taller.
Yeah. Well, I like doing it.
And you would relish the opportunity?
I did. Yeah, I liked it. It's something, though, that I didn't work on in practice. It's not really like all the forwards are down at their end doing their thing, and we're down at our end just doing point shots, which is painful, but I'd way rather be down there. Half my career, I just wondered, I'm like, why did I pick D? This is brutal.
Well, there were actually nights when I watched you play for the Avs that, and we've talked about this before, that you were up the ice, you and Sam or Gerard were up the ice before the forward, so you were playing forward anyway.
Yeah, it was a blast. That's the only way to play D and have fun. Otherwise, you're just soaking biscuits the whole time and poke checking.
See, and I've said this before, but you and me, we got it backwards. It worked out for you. I'm happy for you. But we had it backwards. You should have been the forward. I should have been the D. I was already sitting there just eating shots anyway and throwing it off the glass.
It's the world's best F3.
Yeah. Everyone would always want, like, if you could switch with one player, and they'd always say the star or whatever. I'm like, I just want to be the guy that makes like 2 sheets a year blocking shots and throwing it off the glass. Like that, it would be a dream.
If we ever have different aspirations.
Well, and now you're together.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So back, what do we have? We're talking about the momentum, Minnesota, Nashville coming up.
Yeah.
Big win. Yeah, I think that's gutsy win. I think if Kiefer Sherwood can get another Hattie,
well, he's going to be motivated in Nashville. So.
Oh yeah, I love that. He'll be flying in Nashville too. I could see him like driving by, and he'll be looking for Trotsy to yell at him or something.
That's why Barrie's way up top these days. So Minnesota's winnable for sure. The Wild are not off to a great start. Nashville's struggling too. They lost to Philadelphia last night, even though they outplayed them in so many ways.
Yeah.
So this team at 6-6, with all the injuries at 6-6, Landon, is this exceeding? Is this what was expected? Is this a disappointment? And I'm not talking about being a fan. I'm talking about being analytical about what this team is right now. 6-6, in my opinion, is not a bad thing.
I think you got to be pretty happy with that. Like, it was already, again, the beginning of the season, like you're trying to figure out what this team's going to be. And you could see where if certain things went one way, you could see how they could be a pretty good team, but you could also see it the other way as well, of if injuries and all these things kick up, like you could see where the year gets away from you pretty quick. That was a really big win for them in St. Louis. And when you have a bunch of guys out, it's already such a massive piece of being on a team that can win is just having confidence. And I think that one bought them some last night. I think it showed, especially the younger guys on the team, of like, if you work and you do the right things, you're committed and reset for every shift, and like all of those, you have a chance to win. You have 2 very good goalies. Lankinen played pretty well last night. I'm sure he would have liked the first one back to beat him 5-hole, but at the same time, he made the saves at the timely time and was able to hold them in there. But it just shows that it doesn't matter who's in, who's out.
Yeah, you can get beat over the long term. It's going to matter who's in.
Oh, for sure. But in this 3-game set stretch, here,
if you play to your system and you play hard and you're willing to block the shots and go to the net, you can get wins in this league. You're going to need there's a reason you're paying guys so much. You're going to need them over the long run. But for those little spurts, you get a 3 games, 5 games, 7 games, whatever it is. Without these guys, you can win some games. And
especially early in the season when other teams are still trying to figure out what they have going on.
Could be the Flames right now. Yeah. I think 6-6 is, they'll take that. They're right in the muck of it, and you hang around, win one, lose one, win one. You're in it. There's nothing worse than being out of it. So if you can just, string a few together, or not lose a few in a row, you're right in it. And I think it's a fun place to be.
I was trying to be positive and cup half full, but at this point, the last conversation has to be about what do you think Brock Besser was really thinking? Seriously,
when he took that shot?
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking he's probably thinking, what a brutal shot. I mean, I've done that so many times as a D-man. I feel bad. I don't want to rag on him, but like, that wasn't a great shot. I don't even if it gets by him, where's it going, into the corner?
Well, it's just the fact that he turns right into it, has no idea it's coming. Like, I'm sure as he's sliding the 15 feet he slid on the ice, he's wondering, I know he's just thinking how much this hurts right now, but it's also what just happened? Where did that come from?
Well, it's different. If you're down by the net and you're trying to get a tip on it, like, you're aware you're in the puke zone.
Yeah. Top, what was that? The puke zone?
Yeah, the puke zone. You don't want to be like, when you're down in front of the net as a forward or a D-man, you're trying to box out and your back gets turned, and there's a chance you're going to take a slapper off the back of the leg or in the ribs.
Sure.
You can't control it, but you're in the puke zone. It's going to happen. When you're just floating around up top, there's like, if I'm him, I'm thinking, oh, maybe I'm going to open up, get an F3, like, he'll slip it to me and I can try, like, I'm not expecting a bomb. So it's unfortunate.
I make light of you guys not having real jobs when you played, but the one thing I would say is that my only reaction is that after signing that big deal with this team, he's not getting paid enough.
Well, I had a couple injuries over the year, but was always well compensated.
Did you ever play with a guy that didn't wear a cup?
Yeah, I think I did. I can't remember who it was off the top of my head, but you see some odd things over the career where
it's wild though. Like, of all things, I don't understand. I've played with a few of them, and I don't know how I could ever get myself to go on the ice.
Did he take it in the junk? I didn't dissect the clip.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right in the bag. Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
dude, that's the puke zone for me. So
yeah. I saw a stat unrelated to hockey, but before this year, it was like I thought it was one of the best stats I'd ever seen tracked. It was the Mariners had more exploded testicles than playoff appearances in their franchise history. It was like 5 exploded testicles.
What a way to go into the weekend!
Yeah,
with a stat like that.
Yeah.
Well, boys, I'll tell you what. The Canucks are off to St. Paul and then over to Nashville, and they're going to. And Tyson's going to give them a couple of haunts to go to on Sunday night because there's no baseball to watch and maybe a little Sunday night football. But if there's a few places, huh?
Nashville. Yeah, we can find something for them.
You wouldn't be on Broadway's too touristy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But I mean, pick your poison. Some guys like it. So, you could find a couple more low key haunts, but. Whatever floats your boat.
Tell you what, the place I loved in Nashville, I'm going to sound like an old guy, which I am, is Jeff Ruby's down by the river. It's
a fantastic restaurant.
And then not only the restaurant, but once you have your meal and there's entertainment, and then the waiter says, by the way, you guys are having a good time. Don't leave because there's another band coming in after. And then halfway through the second band, he says, by the way, you're having a really good time. Don't leave. There's another band coming. And so like at 2 in the morning, the music, the wine was good and the music was spectacular in Nashville. Oh, my goodness.
Signed a few extensions with Jeff Ruby's.
Yeah, I wish I played. That would have been the best part about it. Thank you, boys.
Yep, thank you.
Yep. We'll see you
Landon
later.
And Tyson and John on 100% Canucks.
All right, listen up. Today I want to talk about giving 110%. Giving 100% means giving everything you got. Giving 110% means giving 10% more than is humanly possible. If we're going to win as a team, we need 100% of you guys giving 110% 100% of the time. If only 50% of you guys give 110%, and 50% of you guys give 100%, I guarantee you 100%, we'd only win 50% of our games. Suppose 75% of the 110% gave only 50%, and 50% of the 100% gave 25%, and 75% of the 110% were not feeling 100%, then we'd be in a heap of trouble. That's why we need 100% of you guys giving 110% 100% of the time. Okay. Let's go out and play some hockey.
Thanks to Tyson, thanks to Landon. I'm not sure the world was ready for a Tyson statistic, but it does make some sense. This team is a fascinating team to look at right now when you do consider all the injuries and who is out of the lineup and how much the character of so many of the players is now coming through. Even the younger guys, the first year players, and I call the kids that were in Abbotsford last year and have had a cup of tea in the NHL, first year players, guys that have now become regulars. It's going to be fascinating to watch how this team continues to grow. I do think that they have been a surprise, and I do think that the team is pointed in the right direction with this coaching staff. For Landon and Tyson, I'm John Shannon. Thanks for listening or watching this edition of 100% Canucks.